Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D. channeling his sacred higher self.
This lady goes to a pet psychic and says, "My cat keeps singing, but I can't quite make out the song. Can you ask it what its favorite song is so I can play it for the cat?" And the psychic goes, connects to the cat and looks at the lady and says, "Three blind mice." Hey, all you beautiful souls. I'm excited to be with my sacred higher self. Today, we're going to channel about animal communication. And it's going to be fun. I think Spirit was telling me there's going to be 3 points. So you want to stick around to the end to get them all. Please remember, this is a discussion. Put your comments below. What understandings and techniques do you have to get in touch with animals and lessons you've learned? It's kind of cool, isn't it? All right, let's dive in. Greetings, dearest ones, beautiful souls. The exquisite connection of being with you in this moment. When Peter steps aside and we are able to make this connection, we are so filled. He is so filled. We hope you are allowing this connection and are equally filled. Peter has asked us to speak on animal communication, and we are happy to do so because one of the important reasons why, which is our first point, why have animal communication? One of the important reasons is many of you are looking to become galactic citizens. You're looking to be able to connect with your star brothers and sisters as Earth ascends. The reality is, if you're not able to connect with the species on your planet, what makes you think you're going to be able to connect with your star brethren? Yeah, start with where you're at. That's right. That means recognizing that animals are conscious. They are consciousnesses, and you can speak with them. Now, it's not going to be, oh, woof, 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 or like the bad joke he told, meow, 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 meow. It's not going to be like that, but there is going to be able to get a sense back and forth of what's going on. So that's one of the reasons is to speak with the beautiful animals on your planet, is it'll prepare you and pave the way for you to connect with your star brothers and sisters. Now, the next reason for why is your own love and your own health. Your scientists are clear to point out that elderly people who have pets live longer. Why do you think that is? Because there's a connection and a communication, a love energy being transferred that turns into health and wellness. So your own health and your own wellness scientifically is proven to be enhanced when you're in connection with animals. So why not just take it the next step and actually talk to them? Many of you do this. This is something that's happened. If you look at people who are the age of this channel, when they were kids, pets were things, right? But now pets are family. You talk to them and you treat them like family. You spend money on veterinarians, and it's a beautiful thing because you're realizing that it's not an animal, but it's part of your extended consciousness grouping, family. And so the more you welcome that, the more you allow it, the more love you're going to feel and the healthier you're going to be. And so that's our second reason why. And our third reason, because it's fun. Why not just have some fun? And animals do it. You see them frolic, you see them play. They're just, they don't have a Nintendo or a computer screen. They're just out there doing what they do. And you can see when a cat is stalking, because this channel has cats. Peter has cats, so he watches them now. And he sees them when they're out there hunting. And they're just so into it. And then in the evening, when he keeps them inside so the coyotes don't have free reign with his cats, he sees them doing the same things, practicing and playing. And then they'll just pick up a little toy and pat it around because they caught it, and they run around and chase it. They don't need anything other than what they normally do to be happy. So the more you're in communion with these animals, the more you're going to be happy. It feels good. It's fun. So that's why of animal communication. All right. Now, let's go into the what of animal communication. This is our second point. What is it? Now, a lot of people will go up to their psychic and say, can you talk to my dog for me? And it's not like the dog talks, okay? It's not like it speaks your language. So you can get information about your animal, but you're not going to be sitting there discussing what was this channel's favorite movie when he was a teenager, The Gods Must Be Crazy, where a Coke bottle is dropped out of a helicopter in this tribe in the unpopulated regions or the sparsely populated regions of Africa. And this tribesman picks up this Coke bottle and decides it's sacred and needs to return it to the gods, but a monkey steals it, and so he tries to reason with the monkey to get the Coke bottle back. And it's like, yeah, you just can't reason with a monkey. It's not going to be communication like that. What it's going to be is a sense of presence of what the animals are in the animal kingdom is, their consciousness, and you. And where you overlap, of course, is in that joy of connection. Now, you can learn from them, but don't expect to learn quantum physics from them, because that's not where they're at. Now, some animals are quite smart. Some animals have vast realities that you're just beginning to understand, like dolphins and whales and other animals of that nature that can go into other dimensional spaces and back and forth. And they've got a lot to talk about, but probably not in the English language or the whatever language you speak, probably not that logically way. So for the most part, you're going to have to be able to meet the animals where they're at, which is a sense of loving, a sense of connection. And this is quite interesting because your popular controllers who work for the media will put beautiful animal documentaries, and they're great to watch, but you may want to not listen to what they say because it's like dog eat dog, or the pecking order, or why these animals are doing this to these other animals, or the fight and the competition for the scarcity of food, and blah, 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 all that other stuff that they want you to believe that it's a fight out there. Not for a second do they ever consider that it's a dance, a cooperative dance, and that some animals sacrifice part of their grouping for the benefit of the whole collective, and they receive other things from other animals who sacrifice for the benefit of the collective. You do this because you eat animals. Now, you could go the moral ground and say, oh, but, I'm a vegetarian or I'm a vegan. I don't destroy that consciousness. Well, plants are conscious too, and it's part of the ecosystem, and they're willing to sacrifice and give their physicality to you to sustain you for the benefit in the group of the consciousness of the planet, the ecosystem, the sphere they're in. And then you, if you have any consciousness back, do things to help the plants and uplift them, or the animals and uplift them. So it doesn't matter if you want to play the game of I don't eat you or not. Yeah, you do. You're eating consciousness, and it's part of the ecosystem, and the consciousness eats you in a way too. Or you get eaten by consciousness, whatever, how that works. So it's a matter of what you're giving, what the relationship is. And that's when you're part of this collective. And that is the what of it. That is what is being transferred. It's this understanding of we all benefit, we all gain wisdom and knowledge and happiness. Now, some animals have been represented by greater entities who've been in the animal role. This channel, Peter, and you can look through his videos and see the interview with the snake channeler. That was a Naga. That was a greater spirit that was related to the snake kingdom. And it wasn't just talking to snakes, which would be a whole different conversation. So some greater entities can come and be communicating as animals, but it's not the animal that you're talking with at that point. It's the greater entity. I know it gets confusing. That's why we said your consciousness gets eaten. We regret saying that, but that's not too far from what goes on. It's not that your consciousness gets eaten. It's that your consciousness contributes to the creation of all that is. And if you're in this 3D world of dog eat dog, then it is getting eaten. But if you're in the 5D world, then you know that it's a blessed release. And that blessed release then raises the vibration of everything. So call it what you will. So now, the what of it is mainly its communion that you have with these animals. And that communion is a sense of connectivity. And that connectivity then sends information and well-being to all of the collective. You see this in the mycelium network. How do trees over here know what trees over there need? They communicate through this consciousness mechanism that you call fungus. You can jive into this anywhere, become part of the collective, and then reap the joy and the power of it. It's in your myths of man turning into beast or man having the powers, the magical powers of animals. It's all available to you. But really, it's mostly you're just part of the collective. That's the what of it. And you get from it the healing and the joy of it. Now, the how of it. That is our third point we wish to make. How do you connect with your animals? Well, of course, you can just ask for it. You've done your work. You've come far enough along in your consciousness and your evolution that you're actually watching this video of some crazy guy who says he's talking to another entity that's his higher self about how to talk to animals, right? So if you're letting that in your consciousness, you've come pretty far. So let this next thing in. Talk to animals. Ask for it. Ask your divine. Ask the animals. Allow it. That's always the big thing. You clear whatever's blocking you, your mentality, your emotional charges. You ask for it and then allow. Asking for it and say, please give me, of course, the steps of prayer as you see yourself doing it, and then allow. So your spirit can give that to you. Your divine can give that to you. The animal can give that to you. Another method that's quite interesting is using the power of group prayer and group consciousness. Peter and his wife have started a Patreon community where you can join in, do weekly meditations to connect to a larger group, the consciousness of everybody there. And it is its own entity. It is a group consciousness, just like the animal kingdom is a group consciousness, just like all cats are a group consciousness, all dogs are a group consciousness. You can, any level of the group you can come into. They created a group consciousness, and then they used that as a mechanism of prayer to download abilities. And they recently did it on animal communication. And it was so funny. One lady in the group was saying just that afternoon, she was with a psychic friend and asking the psychic friend to communicate with her dog for her. So she was having a translator do dog talk. So she did that afternoon and then shows up to the meeting. And this was the topic. Of course, no coincidence there, right? And then she's like reporting afterwards, oh, during the meditation, I'm talking with my dog. Still freaking out about it, but me and dog are talking. So it's not just the love and connection of holding her beautiful doggers, but it's the communication that goes with it. And it happened instantly like that. Another beautiful woman reported that she went to her hairdresser, and her hairdresser has a cat, and the cat always is distant, always is cold. And this, after the meditation, pops on her lap and sits there while waiting for the hairdresser. And she starts talking to the cat. The cat's like, yeah, the hairdresser likes you coming around, so I'm going to be nice to you now. Then she goes to her friend's house afterwards, and there's 2 dogs, and the dogs always ignored at her and growled and barked at her. But none of that today. They just curled up next to her on the sofa. So Peter heard that, and then that evening he wants to go watch a football game with his friends. I think it was the Super Bowl. And the friend's dogs curl up on his lap, and they usually do the same, bark at him. So you understand, you can get it by becoming part of a collective and using the power of that collective to speak to another collective, or just become part of the collective of the animals that you're interested in communing with. Another way to do it is Peter interviewed this snake channeler that he talked about. He and his wife interviewed her, and they produced a TV show, which a link will be below. He's telling us to, yes, say this. There will be a link below. You can watch that episode That's a subscription fee, but it's not that much. You can watch that episode, and there's a transmission there where they go into the field and just send their communication abilities to you. So there's lots of ways to get this. So that is what we wish to speak to you of today, was what animal communication is, how you can have it, and why you should have it, which is becoming part of your collective, preparing yourself to become part of the galactic collective, and having all the joy and connection. And of course, as you understand animals, you're going to stop treating them with the horrible ways you treat them. Yeah, slaughterhouses have a word, slaughter, in it. There's other ways to do this that could be done humanely. Okay? That's available. But as you can contact with animals, you're going to start to see, oh yeah, I'm part of this collective. And it won't just be animals, it'll be plants, it'll be the planet, it'll be the ecosystem. You're all part of that. And so your planet's going to become cleaner and brighter and happier because you are understanding it. And the access point of animal communication is as good as any access point to have these abilities, to manifest them. So there you go. We're going to end with just this smile and our prayer of gratitude that you and your animals communicate beautifully, because it is who you are. It is who they are. It is your nature and your gift. And we are so happy that you are allowing it to unfold in beautiful ways in your life. So it is. Okay. All right, I'm going to go play with my cats. That's how that works, all right? So we now know what animal communication is, which is just mainly the sense of connection with that particular species. But it could be more. The species have stuff to do, like whales and dolphins can do all kinds of extra dimensional stuff. And other great beings can show up within these collectives. But mainly it's just why, is so that you can have the joy and connection of being part of your planet and be ready to be even a bigger collective as we invite our star brothers and sisters in. And how? Ask for it. Or considering joining a group consciousness like the one that Tracy and I have put together for the Becoming Awesome community. So you can have those skills come to you sideways. If you're meditating regularly with people who have it, guess what's going to happen to you? Yeah, if you're part of a collective and they have skills, you'll have skills. Or just ask for it. Hey, let's revisit this. And, you can get it that way. Or use the link below for the transmission. It's going to be fun, isn't it? I know. It's just so beautiful to have this relationship with all living things, not just humanity. Love you. Bye-bye. See you soon.